Hey all, welcome to R.E.A.L Talks, where responsibility, ethics, action and leadership takes the center stage in every conversation. Today, we are having Anu Kumari IAS, District Collector of Thiruvananthapuram, with us. Ma'am, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing good. Glad to be a part of the show.
Yeah, ma'am, welcome to R.E.A.L Talks. And this is our first episode of the ForumCET Club. We would like to begin with the person behind the position of collector. So that brings my first question to you. What made this courageous decision of leaving a corporate lady job and pursuing civil service, living behind a happy family and a 2-year-old son, and preparing for UPSC exam? What was the decision behind that?
Okay, so yeah, this is one of the questions which I often get.
Yeah.
And so I had been working in the corporate sector for around 9 years. It was the beginning of the 10th year when I took the decision of leaving the job and preparing for civil services.
Yeah.
So the background is that in this corporate job, I was getting a lot of things what we youngsters usually aspire for, like a good salary package. By then I was married also. I had a son. So,
Yes.
Family life was on track. But over a period of years, what I realized was, in the beginning, the kind of learning, the kind of kick that I used to get from my job, it has a downward trajectory.
Speed, yeah.
And by the end of 9th year, I was feeling a lot frustrated. And I started feeling that money is there and a nice lifestyle is there, but inner satisfaction was missing. A sense of fulfillment we always strive for, that was missing. And one conclusion that I came to was, if I continue being in this job, yes, a couple of years down the line, I will be vice president, maybe later on CFO, CEO, something like that. But that sense of fulfillment, only money will not be able to provide me.
Yeah.
That was the beginning. I kept pondering over the question, and finally one thing led to another. And ultimately, with the support of my family members and a lot of motivation from my brother, I decided, my brother played a crucial role, and he finally told me that you have it in you, you can crack the exam, and if you want to do something which gives you inner satisfaction, fulfillment, then nothing better than civil services. We all know that. So that was the decision. I left the job, started preparing. It was very difficult preparing along with a child. So
especially you can't see him, right?
Yeah. So what used to happen was, I'll start studying. My son he was barely 1.5, 2. So he would come, sit in my lap, he would close my book, throw it, and he'd be like, my attention should be on him.
Yeah. So actually, children crave for attention, and that child.
And that too for mother's attention.
Yeah.
So it was going on like that. And then ultimately I had to take a very difficult decision as a mother, as an aspirant, that I would not be able to prepare along with my son. So I left my son in the care of my mother, and then I started preparing. After leaving the city and going into my Masi's place, my mother's sister, I went to her home, which is in a nearby village, and I started preparing from there.
Yeah, but the society was not to be silent, right? If you are leaving a child behind and just completely avoiding the family life, you had a happy family life, 9-to-5 job, and just preparing for 99% chance is that it will be fail.
It will fail. Bang on. In fact, there are around 8 to 9 lakh aspirants who fill the form and who sit for pre. After that, ultimately we know that after the main stage, after the personal discussion or interview stage, only less than 1,000 people get selected.
Yeah.
So just do the math. Probably 0.01% is the success ratio. So yes, it was very difficult, and therefore I was pragmatic about it. So what I had in my mind was, I will give the attempts, I will give my best for it, but if I'm not able to make it, then I did have a backup option. I wanted to go for teaching. I wanted to go for teaching, and I also had written other government exams which are of slightly lesser difficulty level, and I had cleared one also. So there was that satisfaction behind my mind ki, okay, that will not be the end of the world if I'm not able to make it.
Yeah. After leaving your child and shifting to your Masi's house, time management will be really crucial for these type of exams, right?
Yes.
You had a background of 9 to 5 job, happy family.
Yes.
Time was really not a problem then.
Yes.
So how did you develop that time management skill? Could you maybe share some insight to your youth? Like,
yeah, sure,
especially
sure.
now we are struggling with not having time just because we are just using social media constantly.
Absolutely. I wanted to touch upon
yeah.
this point, even though you had not asked it as a part of my journey. That is one message that I would definitely like to give to the youngsters. So, in terms of challenges that I was facing, one, as you rightly mentioned, societal pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to hear a lot of taunts and rants from the people around. Ki, what kind of mother she is?
Mm-hmm.
Does she at all love her child? She has left the child.
Like, as a mother, it will be really painful.
It used to be really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because as it is, I was coping with my emotional trauma of being away from my son, which was, as it is, individually very difficult for me. And then the society, pouring it out on you that you are not good enough a mother. So it used to be really heart-shattering. But I kept my eyes on my goal, and I always used to tell myself, see Anu, right now you make this sacrifice. When you are able to do it, then you will be able to do much more for your child.
Mm-hmm.
You will be able to give him a much better life. You will be able to support him in much better ways. So let this temporary sacrifice be for that. Second thing, when I started preparing, so I had been away from formal studies, for more than 10 years. Yeah.
9, 10 years. Right?
So, 9, 10 years. So, during that period, obviously, writing with your hand, all that practice had completely gone away. And that student life I had lived probably 9 years ago. So, I was just not in touch with that
formal studies,
formal
study plans,
routine
timetables and all.
So, getting back into that habit of sitting for long hours, focusing on your books and studying continuously, that took a little bit of time. But what I would say to all the youngsters out there is, it is all in mind. It is mostly a mental game.
Yeah.
The moment your mind makes up the decision, you make up a firm resolve, I have to do it. Then trust me, all the physical limitations keep on melting away. They start melting away, they start disappearing. And then what you want to materialize, you will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Many times too, even today, we all say, we don't have time. Namak samay illa, I'm busy. But I would want everyone who says ki namak samay illa, we are very busy, just prepare a timetable. And you mention what you are doing in your time, what you are doing with your time. And trust me, more often than not, we will be whiling away our time in unproductive activities and unnecessary stimulation.
Yeah.
You know what is happening nowadays? Our minds have gotten accustomed to not being idle on its own.
Yeah, we look for stimulations,
constant stimulation.
Yeah.
We want constant entertainment. We cannot have a silent, idle mind.
Yeah.
Which is like highly, highly required for your body to rest, for your mind also to kind of calm down, and to be able to plan things, to be able to focus on that.
Yeah.
So this social media is depriving our youth of the ability to concentrate, to focus. You might have heard brain rot was the word of the year for 2024.
Yeah.
And which is like so very relevant. So for me at that time, what I did was, as I mentioned, I had made a firm resolve. So I cut down on all socializing, physical socializing, as well as complete no to social media. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was present on this channel called Telegram.
Physical socializing, you gave up that?
I did not used to go to any family functions.
Oh yeah, that kind of socializing.
I didn't used to mingle much with friends, neighbors, or any program. No such time. So I had made up my mind, okay, for the next 1.5 year, it has to be only studies.
Yeah, it has.
Which helped a lot.
Especially nowadays, I think that youth of this country is depriving of this communication. We are not able to communicate as well. Yes. We are just thinking about, let's... I am walking through the valley. Let's just took social media and scroll through reels and all. The brain rot. Actually, there are the major words that are coming up in 2024, especially in this generation, is that depression, brain rot, Like it's
mental health,
mental
anxiety,
health.
depression.
Like when my mother was younger, she maybe didn't have a word of depression. What is depression?
Yes.
Procrastination.
And never in the context of children.
Yeah.
Never in the context
Like,
of children.
I was around 10 when the touch screen was introduced. So my family couldn't afford that. So after 12th, I just opted my cell phone, the touch screen phone. And after that, my studies have gone, and especially the social media and all have really been consuming my time really much. Actually, my screen time is more than I could say on media and all. So I'm trying to resolve that. And as a IAS, you might be really busy just to look into your phone. You are constantly this type of interviews and all.
Right.
So what is the really message that is social media really relevant? Like social media technology have developed so much. It will really be helping the UPSC preparations. We have ChatGPT.
Yes.
You have to refer so much books back then. Now you can just type a question.
Google it and it'll throw
it
up a
will
very
summarize
good
the entire. We have to just write the prompts and all.
Right.
But the effective use of social media is not that much.
Yes.
Well,
So, what I would say is that in olden times, we used to say that we have dearth of information, lack of information regarding things. And there was a shortage of books and sources for the aspirants or for the students. But today is an era where we have abundance of information. And the trick lies in identifying the right information and focusing on that to achieve your goal. So, as you mentioned, today people are consuming a lot of social media. And they do not understand that here we are actually not the consumers. We have become the product. It is the MNCs, it is the companies who are deriving benefit out of us, out of our time.
Our currency is now just become time, right?
Yes.
We are spending time.
We are thinking
that, it is free, we can watch it. But our time is really important.
Time is our asset. So what is happening is that they drop algorithms. Those algorithms see what you like watching, what are your likes, dislikes, and interests, and they'll keep on prompting those reels and those videos for you, and we will keep on scrolling or keep on watching the shorts.
Scrolling with.
So that we definitely have to curb. The way I do it, for example, is that firstly, for example, all the interviews that I have given till today, hardly ever have I watched my interview back. Hey, how did I perform? How was I looking? What did I do? I never do that. The way I approach social media is, if I have to reach out to people, if there's something that I have to put out there in the open, okay, this is what district collector, district administration is doing, or this is the topic that I want to propagate among the youth, among the public, then I make a choice. Okay, this is what I want to put out, and that is the post or reel or anything that I will put over there. But I will not go scrolling what others have put, and especially when it is not relevant to me. So today what is happening is, if we start scrolling, then probably an influencer or real content creator who is sitting in US, he's making some random reel about how he got up, what he wore, and what he ate, and we are mindlessly consuming that. Does it even matter to us? Do we require that information? So this overload of information, it is killing our gray cells. It is killing our, brain cells. So we have to make a conscious attempt that social media is definitely useful, very, very useful. But we have to go and search for the information that we would want to know, instead of just plainly starting scrolling, which will give you any random information which we do not require. So we have to judiciously, utilize our time, and we have to make certain practical measures. For example, what I do is, on my personal phone, although I'm required to be available on phone like all the time. Okay, I have an official phone, I have a personal phone, and I'm supposed to be there available 24/7. So what I do is, I have put screen check timings on both my phones. It should not exceed 1 hour. And I always see that by around 6 or 7 in the evening, it starts showing, okay, today's screen time has exceeded 1 hour. Because it will invariably happen, as I'm supposed to respond to WhatsApp messages, make calls and everything. But these kind of mechanisms being in place, putting a timing control. Secondly, removing those icons from your screen.
Yeah,
if
they
I
are
want to use
designed to stimulate.
Instagram, then that icon is not readily available on my main screen. I
Okay.
will have to go search in the apps. I have hidden that. I will have to go search in the apps. When it prompts, then only Instagram will
Okay.
come up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a complete no to unnecessary scrolling and all. That is a mental decision that I have taken,
Yeah.
that I stick to.
It is actually mental training, more of a
Yes,
social
yes.
media.
Yes, definitely. It is a resolve that you have to make. I'm not going to waste my time for that.
Yeah. That's a really valuable message. I would like to know more about the decision about the sociology subject. You have
Okay.
opted for sociology
Yes.
as a optional subject in UPSC preparations,
Yes.
but your background is MBA Finance and
And
Physics,
Physics.
which are non-humanitarian disciplines, right?
Yeah.
So what made the decision to opt something off the topic or
Okay.
off the background?
Here's an interesting story behind it. It was actually not even my decision. It was not a conscious decision. My brother had filled the form, and he
Okay.
had mentioned sociology. Okay. So just like that, sociology became my topic. But in the benefit of hindsight, what I know is usually to prepare with a science subject is very, very difficult. Guidance will not be available. Study material would not be available. So I couldn't have taken physics or any B school subject. Okay, so natural option for aspirants is that they will take up some humanities subject. And here, sociology is a subject which has limited syllabus, and content availability as well as guidance availability is quite good. So, and it will help you in your GS papers as well as essay writing.
So, actually, I wanted to ask this: has sociology helped you with your real life? Like after becoming IAS, has it put any value?
I would say that my understanding and my perspective of the world changed and deepened when I studied sociology.
Yeah.
So, for example, do you know that what is the origin of patriarchy? Okay. So, there are several factors behind it, and the way evolution has worked is females, because only they can give birth to a child, only they can reproduce. That factor has been one of the major factors how women got relegated to a inferior position. Why? Because when women give birth, then naturally they are supposed to care for the offspring for an extended period of time. Okay, and they will be in a condition for the initial 9 months of carrying the child, and later on for the upbringing of the child, at least for 1 to 2 years, till the time the child is totally dependent on the mother. So for around those 3 years, the woman is not in a condition that she can go out and engage in economic activities or other activities which will help them get food. In hunter-gathering society is what used to happen. You're supposed to hunt to get the food. So women would naturally be not able to go out. It will be the men who will be doing that job, and the women will be at home taking care of the child. And there's no harm in that, which is a perfectly good mechanism. But over a period of time, as their economic value declined and the economic value of men went up, it manifested in the form of more power for men, lesser power for women, and they got relegated to a lower social status.
Okay.
So one evolutionary thing which is related to the reproductive aspect, that thing, then so many other things. The way you get a very good understanding of how caste system works, and how caste system is not the only, I would say, stratification system. In foreign countries, there is racism, there is language-based discrimination and all. So the way you learn the various layers of how discrimination works, how deprivation works, and what can be the mechanisms to root it out, that has definitely been a lot helpful in the real life, in the administrative life, trying to understand, with what perspective people come to you when they come to you looking for help. How is it that you can bring about a change in the society? And there are multiple layers. For example, if you want to completely root out casteism, only reservation is not going to work. We have seen that for so many years. It has been there. It has been helpful.
There has been some sounds about the caste system, like reservation for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes.
Yes, but today the need has become key. Okay, we have to have economic reservation.
Basic,
and that is how the change has come in society. So that thinking, that understanding, that developed a lot from sociology.
So you think that economic system will be much better than the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and
There cannot be a single yes or no answer to it.
okay.
Economics, I would say, is one of the most important facets of stratification. You know what Karl Marx had said?
Yeah.
Ultimately, the foundation of everything is money, capitalism, paisa. Okay.
Yeah,
And that invariably turns out to be the truth in many a things, in many a settings. However, given the context of India, caste-based reservation also was definitely required at the time when our constitution framers came
but
up.
Mahatma Gandhi ji really opposed that decision, right?
Yes.
Really opposed the idea of this.
Yes, there can be differences of opinion, but we have seen that it has been able to bring out a lot of people belonging to the backward castes out of the economic deprivation as well.
Okay.
So much so that in northern states and many other places, there is a fight, there is a clamor to be declared as a backward
caste.
You would have seen, Jats, Yadavs, and then Marathas and Maharashtra.
So could you maybe tell more about the administration process? The thing about morality is that you have to keep pursuing the right path, even if it is very challenging for you. And as an IAS officer, there will be more of a legal obligations, and at the same time, you have to think about the perspective of your citizens, how
Yes.
they are benefiting
Yes,
from
yes.
certain laws, and
Yes.
at the same time, you have to think about the rules and regulations as they are being followed or not.
Yes.
So what there is actually really a thin line between this and that to happen.
Yeah.
Bad to the society and also the breaking of the law. So how do you manage that?
Yes. So I would say majority of the cases are taken care through the rules that have been framed by our lawmakers, by our politicians. However, invariably there will be cases where our rules and procedures become an impediment, become an obstacle for us to give the necessary benefits to the poor citizens, to the deprived citizens. It happens in many cases. So there, the way I manage it is through some innovation, through some creative thinking.
Oh.
So for example, there have been multiple instances. People come to you, they will come to you with all sorts of requirements. One person comes to you, okay, I haven't been able to pay ABC loan, and then these people are running after me, and probably my property is going to be auctioned.
Yeah.
So in this case, as a district collector, I do not have any role.
to do.
Okay, and I do not have any administrative power also to direct any authority to do anything.
Yeah.
But what we try doing is, informally, for example, lead bank manager karke one post is there.
Oh.
We will try talking to that person. Okay, if you can try talking to the bank and try to help them in a way ki the number of installments of the loan can be enhanced so that they are in a capacity to start paying small amounts. Then there have been instances like when I was in Talasheri, then one very poor person and physically disabled person came up to me, and his requirement was that, madam, I do not have a house. Okay, and as per the present rules, etc., he could not be made a beneficiary to the existing schemes, etc. So what we did was, I called a meeting of some local influential people, and I reached out to them that here's a case. He's very needy and a genuine beneficiary. So if you could help. So we went for crowdfunding, we went for CSR, and ultimately before I left my tenure as a sub-collector over there, I was able to get a very beautiful home constructed for that person. So, we'll have to think out of the box. Many times you will not be able to immediately help the person in the realm of existing rules and all.
Yeah.
So, but if you genuinely want to help people, you will be able to find out ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was more curious to know about the role of IAS in the natural calamities, like
Yes.
that some major accidents happens in the district or state. How is a collector going to be part of it? What's the role of it? What are the actions that you will be taking?
Okay. So the collector is the chairperson of District Disaster Management Authority.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the legal role. And as the head of DDMA, there are immense powers that are vested with the collector. So the entire coordination and management of the disaster has to be done by the district collector through the team of incident commanders and various officials at the who are present with the district collector. So when a disaster strikes, the immediate thing that needs to be done is rescuing. Okay, if some people are caught up there, then the rescuing has to be done. So by coordination with the fire force and our military authorities, the district collector would be coordinating the operations of rescuing. That is one thing. After rescuing comes rehabilitation, taking the beneficiaries to a place, taking care of their immediate and basic needs, and also the long-term rehabilitation. They might have lost their houses, they might have lost their earnings, they might have lost their documents, etc. So then there's an entire process of which involves several steps and several factors. For example, getting their documents made. So we would hold camps which would be exclusively for getting their lost documents made. Aadhaar camp, ration card camp, their bank documents camp, voter card camp, stuff like that. Then getting them, for example, if they have lost their houses, then getting houses for them. You might have heard Punargeham project of the government.
Yeah, I have heard it.
So the district collector would be, for example, proposing who all are the beneficiaries. A certain set of parameters would be decided that based on this, we will be picking the beneficiaries, those who fall in this category. So getting that checked, whether they are actually the genuine beneficiaries or not, and passing that through DLAC, and like that we have several committees, getting that passed, drawing up the beneficiary list, then getting an AS administrative sanction for the entire project. For example, for 100 people, we need to construct, say, flats. Getting the AS, looking after the implementation of that would be the rehabilitation part. And then comes, obviously, preventive measures. Which is, I would say, the most important thing.
Right there, I wanted to ask a question about that. The disasters, I think there are two types of disaster. One is natural disaster that we cannot come up with anything. One is man-made disaster. That's where the role of ethics, professionalism, and like that things come up. So what do you think? A man, if he is professional, he is following the ethical rule book, can we prevent it to some factor and avoid man-made disaster? You said preventative measure, right?
Yes. So man-made disasters, yes, Abhimanyue, to a great extent can be definitely prevented. For example, recently we had some instances where say a school building collapsed, or a hospital building collapsed, or we have a fire incident in some high rise or at some place which leads to death or other injuries to people. So this is something which can definitely be avoided if regular inspections are done, if the permits are given after thorough checking, and if officials are there, staff are there to regularly monitor the implementation of safety mechanisms. However, I will tell you of the practical difficulties. Usually what happens is staff shortage would be there. Funds availability, because the government has to take care of myriad needs of the people, developmental needs, as well as say rehabilitation needs or management of disasters. So many things government has to take care of, and always with for all the governments, funds will never be sufficient to take care of all the things. So then people prioritize. Right. And as a result, what happens is we might not be having necessary amount of funds for each and every place. So what happens is, due to shortage of funds and functionaries, some man-made disasters do happen.
Ma'am, there is a saying that if a doctor makes a mistake, a life is lost. And if engineer makes a mistake, then millions of lives are at stake. So in the context of man-made disaster, how do you think the role of engineers and their professional values, ethics and all come to action? Could you share something?
Abhimanyue, engineers do have a very, very important role to play. All our bridges, big buildings, everything is constructed by engineers, right? And if they have kindness, compassion, and integrity in their mind, then they will not be taking shortcuts to make more money and jeopardize the life of people. I'll share one story that I recently read. It is about one contractor who constructed a road in Pune. Okay, you can try Googling it also. And they say that this contractor, he got the contract from Pune Corporation. The road that he built, that in 70s, that road is still operational, functional, and without any issues, without any defects, even today. Imagine. And 70s. Nowadays, the roads that we build, probably they would be gone in one monsoon. Within one monsoon, they will develop potholes and all. And you know, that person, he had signed a contract that I will take care of maintenance or anything for a period of 10 years. After this contractor finished the work, can you imagine, he never got another contract. He never got another contract despite doing such a wonderful work. Why? Because he would not be in a position to give cuts and fees, all this as commission to some corrupt officials. So this is what the story that I read. I have not conducted a personal research on it, whether it is true or not. But this is how it goes, that if engineers, they are committing a mistake, then we have seen the outcomes of that. We have seen huge bridges collapsing, roads collapsing, and so many innocent lives getting lost. So if our engineers, they have compassion, public welfare and integrity in mind, and they do not give in to corporate greed as well as to the prevalent corruption system, then definitely they can do so much for the society.
The role of engineer in the society is very much important.
Yes.
As any other professional. Like, so could you share maybe some quote?
Okay, so one thought which has inspired me a lot and which I always go by, I would share that with you. Sure. That is applicable to engineers as well as to the other professions. So Swami Vivekananda used to say that they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. It's a beautiful and very deep thought. Somehow, no, we humans, we tend to keep on amassing, we tend to keep off self-interest only, how much money I'm going to get, what kind of a house, car and clothes and luxury items I'm going to have, and they tend to forget about what they can contribute to the society, to the people. So if everybody starts thinking on the lines of what Swami Vivekananda gave to the world, I think that it will be a wonderful place.
I think that message, I think that one quote really inspired you to become a IAS officer. Then
it has been a
life-changing quote, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, coming to the last question, it is not more like a question. It is just us asking for an opportunity. To maybe we the students of CET can work on real life problems and come up with a solution for the society. Like, could you maybe share something about or give us opportunity to work with like that?
Okay, so right now, from an engineering perspective, I do not have a ready-made problem where, I would be wanting your input. However, there are several things where the youth of the college can be roped in. For example, we are doing a project called Unfiltered Orange Room, wherein we are spreading awareness related to mental health illnesses and how to manage that. Because considering particularly our state Kerala, we have seen a high spate of suicides, which is really bothersome to me, being the district collector administrator over here. Why our children, why our youth are feeling so much of pressure? That is one project. Another project which is very, very relevant is promotion of a sustainable lifestyle. Okay, otherwise this earth is not going to be there. The way the pace at which we are over consuming is so humongous that the earth cannot bear the impact and burden of that. We have to have a sustainable lifestyle. We have to have a simple lifestyle. Then only we'll be able to survive and our Mother Earth will be saved. So that is another thing. Like that, there are multiple things wherein we can associate, and we would love to do that. We are already coming up with a project for that, wherein we rope in the volunteers from the colleges, form a team, and then we listen to them, we hear from them what are the solutions that they are proposing. We give them challenges, we give them problem statements, and we hear their feedback. So that is already in the pipeline. We would love to have your support.
Yeah, we would also love to be a part of this innovative and yet sustainable development that you are going to build.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, with that, we are just coming to the end of the interview.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your insights on the role of ethics, role of real leadership, and the engineering aspects, how an engineer has been coming up with solutions.
Yes.
And thank you for us spending your valuable time with us at R.E.A.L Talks. And
thank you, Abhimanyue, Afreen, Safwaan, and Amaljith. I do not know if I've taken your name correctly. So thank you, and you youth are the future of the nation. Always lovely to get an opportunity to interact with you. Keep growing, keep shining, make our nation bright.
I do believe that this conversation will spark a light on engineers all over the world, and maybe this lead to a change.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.